Is this your first year as a school counselor and you just feel like you don't know what to do? Life has thrown you a curveball, and going into this school year has definitely knocked you off your feet. Well, don't you worry, because hopefully in watching this video, it will encourage you and also just remind you that you're not by yourself. And hopefully through the different things that we discussed today, you are able to implement or take some different parts of it and apply it to your own school counseling situation and just make things a lot better for you. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, you guys, so you will see me looking down a little bit just because I wrote down some things so that I don't get off track. But thank you guys once again for coming to my channel, The Inspiring School Counselor. I appreciate you guys for just taking out the time to watch. Also, make sure you comment down below. Maybe there's certain things that I'm talking about, and maybe it will resonate with you to the point where you might even want to give some of your advice and different things that I might have left out, or you might want to just add to what it is that I am saying. Feel free to comment that down below, because this is a community where we are helping each other get through it. Okay, so please feel free to comment down below. So since we're talking about first year as a school counselor, I wanted to share with you guys just my school counseling career. And believe it or not, you guys, this is my first year as well. I actually graduated in December of 2019 with my professional school counseling degree, and it was January is when I started operating as a school counselor at a primary school. And just to let you guys know, I was only given 3 weeks to prepare lessons for the rest of the school year. So it definitely took me by surprise, but I was so happy to have connections with the school counselor prior to her leaving. She was able to kind of fill me in on some of the students, as well as filling me in on different lesson topics to do and things that she has already done, so I don't have to really repeat it unless it is that I really wanted to. So first time school counselor, you are doing lessons. One of the things that I have used, and that is Teachers Pay Teachers. You guys, that right there has been like my saving grace. Like, it has truly helped me to be able to gather lessons that is needed, and also being able to use the lesson plans that they have already written out to then present it to my principal and kind of get an idea of, okay, can I keep this lesson plan, or do I need to change it to whatever the lesson planning that they are using for that particular school or that particular school district. So I actually had to gather 16 lesson plans, and that was from January all the way to May. So like I told you guys before, I had to get all those lesson plans, 16 lesson plans together within 3 weeks, and I am so happy I was able to get that done. As you guys know, this world was flipped upside down when COVID decided to invade the spaces of the United States, and schools began to close down, at least where I lived, mid-March. And so all of that lesson planning and everything pretty much kind of like went out the window. We just had to instantly become virtual school. I had to instantly become a virtual school counselor, and kind of just change my whole approach to speaking with the students. And I think that is so important, and a highlight that I want to just bring out even the more is that when you're a school counselor, you cannot be afraid to kind of change your approach at some things, especially when you're dealing with students, especially a pandemic. This affects all of us, especially young kids. If you're in an elementary school setting, it has affected them. And so, instead of me trying to teach a lesson on bullying, during, while we're doing virtual classes and school counseling and everything, I'm more going to address things like social and emotional needs. And so, because this is a time that was scary for them, fearful for them. And that's what I did. I have done many lessons, as you guys can look at the videos prior to this one. I think it was like boarding the plane and worry or something like that. I did lessons geared towards that. As it became closer to the summer coming, I've done even a Run Wild book, and basically being carefree in the sense of having fun and finding those things that makes you happy, even during this time like this, like going outside in your yard, playing in the dirt, just having a good time. And so that was something that I just had to keep in mind, is that sometimes as school counselors, things might not go the way that you want it to go, and you might have to change your plan. But don't allow that to worry you or allow you to become overwhelmed by that, but instead use that as an opportunity to just be able to impact students' lives and meeting them where they are right then and there. So lessons was a big thing, like I said, in coming into this job. However, you have Teachers Pay Teachers, and I don't know if there's another platform that also allows for you to use their content as like Teachers Pay Teachers do, where you're able to download it and use it as long as you like. You don't give it out to other people or sell it like it's your own, but you're able to use theirs and you're able to come up with lessons. So on there they have curriculums that you can use, as far as curriculums for a whole school year, or you can kind of build your whole curriculum through using the Teachers Pay Teachers lessons. So another thing that was beneficial to me when starting out as a school counselor is getting something that is going to track my time, the things that I needed to do, and also putting down like my lessons and different things like that. So I actually first invested in just a really good calendar, which it really was. I paid $25 for it off of Amazon, but I mean, it was just something that I needed to just be able to track everything that I needed to do. So I just got a notebook and that had like the calendar and everything in it, and I began to just handwrite things in. And that actually became beneficial for me the first maybe couple of weeks, but then I began to realize that I began to really utilize my calendar that is used through my work email, and so that's what I began to do, and that's more beneficial for me. However, you do what is best for you. So if you're using a notebook that has, of course, your calendar and everything like that in it, and you're able to see it, feel it, then by all means do that. But if you're someone that does not really need that and you rather just do everything digital, you can do that as well. Just keep in mind is that you just never know what's going to happen if you are relying ultimately on technology, because at any time it can fail. Like really, it really can. I mean, just look, this pandemic that hit, we never would have thought that would come to the US, right? But so yeah, you definitely just want to keep that in mind. There has been times where I would actually I did do this, where not only would I write it in my notebook, but I will also put it on my work email on my calendar. So that is something that you can also do. So I came right in the middle of the school year, and so as far as a mission statement, needing that, school counseling program, all that stuff like that, I did not really need to focus on that. I was pretty much just trying to meet the kids where they were. I wasn't focused on trying to put a mission statement together. I wasn't focused on trying to create this elaborate, beautiful school counseling program. I wasn't trying to do a needs assessment. I was just morally trying to just pick up with the kids right where the other school counselor had left them off. And that sounds really bad, but I promise you I don't say that in a bad way. I promise you, because she was awesome, and she definitely filled me in on the needs of the students and kind of the approach that they were going that year, and I was able to pick up from that and continue it on. And so maybe with you guys, of course, starting this school year, you're starting fresh, so maybe you are wanting to focus more on a mission statement, a school counseling program. Send out a needs assessment. I actually just finished my needs assessment today, and I sent it out to the parents to fill out for me for their children, and what it is that they think that their child need, needed this school year. And that is going to help me develop individual counseling sessions, small group sessions, also focus on different guidance lessons that I need to do as well. So needs assessments are so important. And you can actually go on Teachers Pay Teachers to find a needs assessment that is going to be suitable for your environment that you're in, whether you're in a primary setting, an elementary setting, which primary and elementary is pretty much the same, a middle school and a high school setting. So you can go right on there. You can also do your own needs assessment as well. You can send a needs assessment out to the parents. You can send a needs assessment out to the teacher as well as to the students, and also to the staff and the administrator. So what I say, get as much data and everything that you need so that you can kind of have an idea of what it is that the school needs, what is the students' needs. You might be one that says, you know what, I want to have a whole counseling curriculum on, if you're in elementary school setting, on careers and on, you know, trying on goals. Even those are still good, you know, things to do and good information to get out to the kids. However, you might have kids that needs more help with social and emotional skills, and that's what I find at the school that I'm at. I have a lot of students. My population is more, you know, there are trauma. They went through a lot of trauma, especially the area that I'm in, low socioeconomical status. And so I am morely doing lessons towards social and emotional needs and meeting the kids, you know, right where they're at. And then, of course, intertwining other things like careers and different things like that, to make things even the more fun for them. So that is something that you can keep in mind. So with that being said, you want to come up with lessons that are going to be beneficial to your students. And that is also why you send out needs assessments to the teachers, because they are even the more building relationships with those students, and they kind of know what those students need. Now, for many of you guys, you're going in virtually. You know, I'm a virtual school counselor starting off this year. So far, it's going to be until I think September 11th or something like that, before we actually have kids come in. And so right now I am morely focused on doing individual counseling in small groups, and that's when I send out my needs assessment for that. So really just figure out what it is that your school needs. So find those needs assessments, create your own if you have to. They are beneficial, and that is like also the foundation of your school counseling program. Those needs assessments are essential. Another thing that is so important to have is something that you're going to be able to track your time. You guys, I cannot say this enough, but school counselors, for some reason, we always have to validate why we are here. We always have to make known, like, we are not just sitting behind a computer looking up things on Amazon or shopping or, you know, watching movies, right? We are actually advocating for the students, making sure the students have their needs met academically, socially, emotionally, and even behaviorally. Some of them, you know, students have behavioral issues, and so you are needing to, you know, be there for them in that sense as well. So we have to make sure that, you know, if it is that somebody is questioning our position and what it is that we're doing, we're able to say, you know what, let me just show you the data. Data is so important, and that is what my professors had instilled in all of us, that when we were in graduate school, is just having data, and because the data don't lie. Data does not lie. You show them the numbers and they are forced to see the truth. So with that being said, I actually use a program, and please excuse me for looking away. I actually use a program. Well, it's not even a program. I use Excel spreadsheet, and I'm so grateful for my school counselor supervisor when I was doing my internship. She is the one that has gave me this the spreadsheet, and let me tell you guys, all I have to do is just set my schedule and I can just plug in different things. So that is so beneficial, and with it calculating everything for you, it's easy to read, and you know, it is definitely something that is needed for us as school counselors. Also, if you go to ASCA, you know, and they have actually a spreadsheet as well that you can, you know, change different things in there that's going to fit your schedule and what you're doing, and you can plug in numbers as well. I'm not that familiar with it, so if anybody's familiar more with that, if you guys could like to explain it even more in the comments down below, or maybe you want to say that is something good to use, or if you feel like that's not something good to use, put that down in the comments below. Like, let's start a conversation, okay? So I don't know too much about that. Like I told you guys and shared with you guys know what I use, and it has been such a benefit for me. So you're going to want to track your day-to-day things of what you are doing. You want to put in your if you went to a conference, put that in. All right. You also want to track your individual counseling, your small groups. You want to track any crises that arise that you had to go and facilitate. You want to track your lessons if you're teaching lessons, everything that you're doing. And so that's important, so important for you to do. And I'll probably even do a video with showing you guys how that looks like, maybe showing you guys earlier this year of how I filled that in, and making sure that there's no name so I don't break any confidentiality. So, but yeah, so that is another thing that I use to help me with my first year as a school counselor. Another thing I must say is it is so important for you to be communicating with your administration, communicating with the faculty, basically communicating with the faculty and staff, talking to the principal, talking to the vice principal if you have one, talking to the teachers, talking to even the, you know, custodians. Let everybody know who you are. Don't just be someone that is just in their classroom, you know, minding to themselves, and nobody even knows that you exist in the school. You do not want to be that school counselor, but you do want to be that one that is out, you know, and just allowing people to know that, look, I am here for whatever it is that you need me for, in the sense of, you know, for the kids, and if it is that you need any guidance with any of them or whatnot. You know, you want to make sure that you are showing yourself, you know, available in that sense. And when I say that too, because you have so many times where school counselors are put in positions where they are doing a lot of things that is not school counselor related. So you also want to make sure that you are advocating for yourself and advocating for your role, because if it is that you are not advocating for your role and what is that you're supposed to be doing, you're going to find yourself doing a lot of things that you're not supposed to be doing, which is going to take time away from your school counseling program, take time away from your students, and it's just going to cause a lot of things to just be crazy for you. So don't be afraid to communicate. Talk to your administrator. That's what I loved about my a principal. She just made it so easy for me to talk to her. And you guys, please talk to them in a professional way. It is so important. You don't want to tell your administrator what they're going to do and how they're going to do it, but you want to just, you know, come to them and just say, look, I have a couple ideas. What is it that you think about this? Do you think that this is something that can help out the school in any way? And so you want to make sure you come to them the right way and not just telling them what to do. So that is something to, you know, keep in mind as well. One of the things that was beneficial for me as well was just making sure that the parents knew who I was. And so, because the students, they're going to know, especially when you are in the classroom with the students, you know, but even virtually, they're going to know, because then you're going to have to make yourself known to them, right? Hopefully you are. If you are virtually, like me, I've already showed them my my Bitmoji Classroom. I've created Google Classroom for all the students in the school that can join it. So that is, you know, something that I have done to make known to the students. However, I want to make myself also known to the parents. So what is it that I did? I had created a newsletter, and I had actually posted it on we use a Class Dojo, and so there's a lot of the parents that is hooked on to the Class Dojo. So I uploaded a newsletter that talked to the parents, that told the parents who I was, what it was that I do here at the school, and how happy I was to be a part of the school and be a part of their children's life, their child's life. And so it's so important that you make yourself known once again, even if it is that you have to print off the newsletters and send them home to the students. Do that. And like I said, you know, it will just even the more help you to build relationships, not only with those that's in school and the students, but also those that are outside of school, so the parents. So you want to make sure that you do that as well if you have not already. One of the important things for me also, as being a first time school counselor or first year school counselor, is to just figure out everything that I'm supposed to be doing at the school that I was at. And this was essential for me. So once again, I was so grateful for the school counselor before, because like I said, she already pretty much filled me in on the things that I had to do. But maybe you don't have that opportunity, so it is for you to talk to your administrator about that and seeing what is it that you need to do as a school counselor, in the sense of is there anything that you need to make sure you get done. So just to give you guys an example, I had to make sure that I organized the CTE on Wheels, and that deals with more of career and technology and bringing that into the students at my school. And that allowed for high schoolers to come in, and I had to make sure the rotation and everything worked right. But if I did not get that information, I wouldn't have known it. And so you have to ask. Another thing that I have to do here at the school is I have to make sure that I provide food bags to the students. So there is a food truck that comes in, and they, you know, drop food bags to the students, and I am responsible to get this food bags to all the students that need it. I'm also in charge of making sure I keep like clothes and shoes and socks and different items for students that are in need. So that's another thing that I had to make sure that I did. I also have to organize a safety day. Another thing that I had to do as a school counselor is 504s. I'm the 504 case manager, so I have to make sure that I follow up with the 504, especially with it being a new school year, calling those parents that needs to be called so that we can have a meeting and kind of just see if we need to change any accommodations or, you know, leave them the same. So, and a lot of this stuff I am still learning. You know, once again, just to remind you guys, I was a school counselor for January, February, and mid-March. Then all of a sudden school had to close. And though I was a virtual school counselor, but still yet, I mean, I didn't really know. I'm still learning, and I'm coming back in, you know, now August, and I'm still learning. You can do this. You can do this. So I hope that I mentioned everything that I need to mention, and if not, you guys will see another video popping up here at some point, letting you guys know some more information as far as what can prepare you to be a first-time school counselor at your school. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I enjoyed telling you guys about my experience, and hopefully you were able to learn from my experience and take something from it. Make sure you guys comment down below, what year are you in? Is it your first year, or is it your 5th year, or is it your 30th year? I want to know. So make sure you put that down in the comment below. Also, make sure you like this video if you were able to get something out of this, and also make sure you subscribe to my channel, The Inspiring School Counselor. I'm so excited once again, and you know what, you guys, you have it. Don't you worry, you are equipped. This is just literally is really my, to be technical is just my 4th month as a school counselor, and look how much knowledge I was able to gain. So if I can gain this much knowledge, I promise you, you can too. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.